Manchester United have beaten Derby County away in the FA Cup 3-1, and I've got Joey with me to discuss the win. Now, we've scored 3 goals today. I'm delighted that we've won the game because any win in the FA Cup's obviously fantastic because you go through to the next round and you can play anyone in the FA Cup. So just getting through in a knockout competition is all that matters in this. But we played a bit better today, although it was against the Championship opposition, which is good. What are your overall thoughts on the game today? I mean, wasn't too bad, was it? We're a lot better than weeks anyway, even though it was against lesser opposition.
Yeah, I mean, I think you expect to win a game like this. You have to win a game like this. And let's not forget, these guys are professionals. You know, it's a little different than the Chelsea situation with Mourinho. You know, you could tell that they really didn't want to play for him. But at the same time, you're playing for Man United. You know, you're not going to go out there and make an ass of yourself, especially with the Euros this summer. So, you know, they're not going to do anything crazy to get him sacked. There was a few times Ed Woodward didn't look happy. But talking about the game, I thought Martial played well. I thought, you know, what was good and I liked is early and often Martial had the ball and he was trying to make things happen on the left wing. But again, looking at the starting lineup, too many, you know, if you were playing better opposition, you know, there's just too many players playing out of position for me. All over the field, the pitch, you look at it and it's not what I want to see. But I'm happy. We scored 3 goals. Could have been more. There was a period where after Derby scored that 1 goal that we looked a little shaky. And there were times where, you know, a better team will punish you. So I think you can't you can't look at this game and say, oh, you know, Manchester United, they're back. This is the best performance of the season. Because they're a poor side. If anybody's league form is worse than ours, it's their form in the Championship. So I think Stoke will tell us a lot more about the team, especially the way that Stoke handled us on Boxing Day. I'm looking forward to that game to set my, you know, judgments on what's going on. Because on the face of it, Louis van Gaal still hasn't changed. It's still the same stuff, you know. The only reason that it looks different is because of the opposition, in my opinion. You have to attack a team like that. You're not going to go, you know. But there was still a lot of sideways and backwards passing for periods of the game. This game wasn't that exciting, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Personally, in the first half, although we had large possessions of the ball and we looked much the better team, I thought there was a lot of sloppy passing. They showed it again at half time. We gave the ball away so many times, which was very, very disappointing. And as you say, we would have got definitely punished against better opposition than Derby. And there was one period just before half looked a bit better. Martin had a very, very good chance to score, and Chris Smalling got a fantastic challenge in to stop, which could have quite easily been 2-1 going into half time, and they would have really been on the up if they'd scored that goal. So that was a fantastic bit of defending from him there. I didn't think Daley Blinn's defending was great, and obviously, as we've said, players playing out of position. He's one of the players that shouldn't be playing at centre back, but because Louis van Gaal didn't strengthen the defence enough in the summer, it's come back to haunt him. So obviously that's disappointing. But I don't know who your standout. I mean, obviously we've said Martial. You thought Martial had a good game. I thought he was probably mad. Caused them all sorts of problems throughout the.
Yeah, he had 2 assists, I believe.
Rooney was again looked like he's. Yeah, Wayne Rooney's looking as usual, his old self, which against for you again. I
think Dan's internet has gone there.
I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, it was just breaking up like crazy. Speaking on the match, yeah, for me, Martial had the 2 assists. Wayne Rooney's first goal was excellent. It was sick placement. I saw a tweet from somebody that said that he's doing well since he's joined Illuminati. He's only not scored, I think, in 1 game in 2016. So hopefully this is what we need from Rooney all year. You know, this is what Van Gaal had put his faith in. And a lot of the Rooney fans had put their faith in and said, you know, yeah, he can get those 20 goals. it'll be still hard to get them. But, a Wayne Rooney scoring is good for the team. I still think that Martial should be played up top, maybe Rooney in behind. You saw what happened when Mata played the 10 today. He played pretty well. But at the same time, I want to see him play there with actual wingers on each side of him and Martial in front of him. Let him dictate the play with pace around him. He doesn't have to be fast. He was one of the best 10s in the world, if not the best on form when he was at Chelsea. That's the reason he was worth £38 million. So I want to see that happen. I understand Rome wasn't built in the day. Things are moving forward. I'm still Van Gaal out because I don't think he's the man to take us forward. I don't think he will change, and I don't know if he'll get us top 4.
Well, yeah, I totally agree. But we're probably going to be stuck with him season. Hopefully, he can sort this mess out, and at least if we can coast through to the end of the season, probably it's good enough for me.
Dude, your internet is shit. You still there?
You hear me?
Yeah, now I can, but you're all broken up.
Yeah. Well, we're into the next round, so that's a positivity. Hopefully, we can get a home draw in the next round because that's always.
Do you want a big team or do you want another championship side?
Well, I would ideally like as easy as possible for now, just to get us through the rounds. Because the later stages you get, you never know. We could potentially win the FA Cup. And it's a nice trophy to win. I mean, obviously, looking at it now, I think that personally, the FA Cup's become third choice for Manchester United. I don't know if you agree. I think obviously getting the fourth place in the Premier League's obviously number one. And then if we're going to struggle to get the fourth place, then I think we're going to have to do our best to win that Europa League, because potentially that could be, if we get the rub of the draws in the Europa League, potentially you have got some difficult teams in the Europa League, but if we could play, we can avoid playing the likes of Napoli, Porto, and Borussia Dortmund till the latter stages. You never know what happens, and that's got to be the one that we'd have to go for because of the Champions League spot. It's too big an opportunity to miss out. But the FA Cup's definitely something I'd love to win. It could potentially keep Louis van Gaal in a job if we get to the latter stages, which it looks like it will. I don't think that Louis van Gaal is going to be the man to take us forward anymore. But if potentially he could get us a Champions League spot and a miraculously get us a cup this season, then I would be over the moon with that from where we are at the moment. I don't know if you would agree that probably fourth spot would have to be it now, and maybe a cup.
It's going to be interesting because Tottenham are still in the FA Cup, right? They beat Leicester in the last round, I believe, on the replay. So I want to see how Tottenham is able to compete on three fronts, because Tottenham are still in the Europa League, they're still in the FA Cup, and they're still battling in the league. I don't think they have the depth up front at striker to compete in all three competitions. So where they do, and if they do, and injuries, they will. I mean, this is Tottenham we're talking about. They're gonna mess it up. They're gonna have a little bit of a slip up. Now, whether they let that continue like we did in December, or they get back to form right away, will be, the same thing with Leicester. Leicester, are they going nowhere? Because it seems, people forget we're in fifth. We're the first team ready to take one of those Champions League spots if somebody slips up and we can capitalize. But I agree. I think the Europa League should be priority. You're looking at the next round of the Europa League. We got FC Midtjylland. That should be, we should win comfortably. Should. Then you're into the next round. You kind of see how you're doing in the Premier League. It's March all of a sudden. There's not, 2 months left in the season, if that, about a month and a half, 2 months. And you see who you get in the next round. And I think it's a as-you-go type thing. So I think we're set up all right. I think Champions League is still very attainable whether it's top four, whether it's through the Europa League. But I guess we're not going to sign anybody. That's just, that baffles my mind that, we haven't signed anyone. But yeah, so going on what I just said, it's a as you go type thing. Still Van Gaal out. Still don't, care for him. Want to see attacking football. Want to see players played in the right position. And that's about it.
Well, I'm just hoping that if maybe some of the players we've got, the likes of Michael Carrick, Bastian Schweinsteiger, maybe even Luke Shaw, Marcus Rojo, Darmian, start coming back from injury, hopefully then we will actually have a bit of a team to play.
Well, like last season, hopefully we go on a run.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But there are a lot of players out injured. I'm not making any excuses. We should be doing a hell of a lot better than we are doing. But if some of these players can come back from injury anytime soon, then it could mean that the signings that we actually need to make aren't needed quite as much, which would be a plus, because being in 3 competitions is obviously difficult on the team squad.
I'm sitting here talking about Tottenham competing on 3 fronts. Sorry to interrupt you, but look at us. Like, we have no depth either. They have Harry Kane at least, who's been scoring goals left and right. We have a young kid named Martial who's a brilliant talent, but hasn't done it yet in the Premier League, and he shouldn't have all this pressure on him. And we have an over 31 Wayne Rooney. So I'm sitting here talking about depth when I should be looking in the mirror at Manchester United.
Well, yeah, it's Louis van Gaal's own fault, really, because he's moaning about injuries, but yeah, he's let so many players go. I mean, like Van Persie, Hernandez, Nani, and Kagawa, and all these players well back, they've all gone over the last couple of years, and he's left himself short, which is his own fault. I mean, maybe some of these players weren't good enough, but when you've got no one to bring in, you're scratching around to bring Borthwick Jackson and players like that in from the U team.
Let's also give Jackson and Varela some credit tonight.
Yeah, today they were absolutely fantastic, but this is against the Championship side, and we're going to have a lot more games coming thick and fast soon. So we'll have to wait and see what they do in the Europa League. And I know we've got games coming up against Arsenal and Chelsea. Are they going to be able to cope with them? It's going to be difficult to know. But I mean, they're doing a decent job, but we could definitely do with having some more depth in squad and depth there in the areas at fullback, because that's a position really you need over the season to have some real experience. I know it's been a bit of a job with Luke Shaw and Marcus Rojo both getting injured, but if he'd brought another centre half in, Blin could have gone to left back, and then you'd have another centre back, which you'd have some experience in the back then. But it's a bit. I mean, Daley Blin's horrible at centre back.
I wouldn't say he's horrible.
Well, he's not terrible, but he's certainly not a good centre back, and
he's all right for a mid-table team, which we are right now.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, when we come up against better opposition, I've said this a lot, we will get exposed in the back four, and we're not keeping enough clean sheets for me. I don't think the defence is good enough, but people still seem to look...
One thing that pisses me off, and Stuart Robson said it tonight about Schneiderlin, and how he's probably not as good as he has been at Southampton. All these players that we've signed, Van Gaal hasn't really made them better players. It's kind of disappointing.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, that is disappointing, and a lot of it does have to go down to him, because obviously he installs the tactics and the training methods and everything else. So obviously it's disappointing, but hopefully things can improve, and we might possibly, you never know, go on a little bit of a run at some point. Obviously we've got Stoke coming up in the week. It was good to get that game out of the way on a Friday night, so we've got the rest of the weekend now to obviously relax and get ready for that game on Tuesday, which is going to obviously be a very, very difficult game. Hopefully we can get back to winning ways there and move forward. Hopefully it's a home draw in the FA Cup. Any home draw in the FA Cup you really want, even though our home form has obviously been bad. I presume you'd want a home draw to come, because, I mean, there's some difficult teams in the FA Cup. You can get anyone. I mean, if you get drawn away at Arsenal or Man City or someone, it's going to be difficult. But I personally would prefer a home draw. I don't know about you, if you'd prefer a difficult away draw or just anything. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you've got anything else you want to add on the game today. I mean,
No, I mean, I don't want to sound too negative. I'm happy we won. Trust me, I'm more than happy we won, and we're in the next round. All I want is for Manchester United to win games and win them in style. And I want to stop arguing amongst the fans. And I just want, I just want to see Manchester United play attacking football and excite people. I haven't, last September was the first time in a while, and it's been a while, when Di Maria used to pick the ball up. Remember when he first came and he played against QPR? You stood up, even in your living room, and you were like, you got excited. I haven't felt like that in a long, long time about this team. Probably since last spring, since they were playing that, sexy football. So I just want that feeling again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the moment, I'm just taking any win that we can get to keep winning, just so that we can at least get that fucking top 4 place, because it'll be an absolute disaster if we don't. But obviously, the performances do need to improve and get better than today, because today's performance, obviously, it was a lot better than it's been in recent games against championship opposition. You can't really get too excited about that. But anyway, thanks to everyone for watching. We will be back in the week, probably with a preview or a review of the Stoke game. Hopefully we can get 3 points in that game, because that's really a massive game for Manchester United. We can't afford to lose another home game in the Premier League. Make sure to follow us both on Twitter. Joey's is at Joey Tabor. And we will talk to you all again soon. Thanks for watching.